Well, I say every day it's a getting closer to taking a bath with my fucking toaster.
We're not qualified.
Who are you?
Explorers in the further regions of experience.
Did you not listen?
Then the hell with you.
Greetings, salutations, and welcome to the 92nd episode of Screaming into the Void. My name is Samuel the Infamous, and with me are my co-hosts, Devil Made Me Do It.
Hello.
And green-haired anti-liberal, sneaking in the back door.
Hi. Sorry, late.
Welcome. Welcome. It's good to have you guys back. I know you guys had fun trips and shenanigans and all that, and I'm sitting here in a corner with my dick in my hand, and it's fine, whatever. But I'm glad you're back.
Things we don't need to know, Sam, but thanks.
Yeah.
Glad to be back. For the most part.
I forget
minus
something.
the fucking sound.
Yeah. I'm still not taking the blame for that. I do forget sometimes that you are in fact a girl. For those of you out there who are not dudes, who are not familiar with the euphemism or the term, sitting there with your dick in your hand doesn't necessarily mean you're actually jerking off. It just generally means like, you just messed around, you don't have anything else to do, or
I know.
that kind of thing.
No, she literally thought you were sitting there with your dick in your palm. That's
I
odd.
didn't do that.
Yeah. Oh, geez. I started off on a terrible today. Sorry about that, Luke Cassidy. We're back in fine form, ladies and gentlemen. It's you're right. So real quick, we'll say hello to the people we have in the chat. We are live right now, currently on Rumble, Twix, and YouTube. So wherever you may be, wherever you're watching, enjoy the show. Drop a comment if you have something to say, and we'll get to it. Speaker, thank you for this. Yeah, we have a number of euphemisms that are really gross, but don't actually mean the gross thing that they say they mean. It is what it is. Lawrence Knight comes in at first, and he is prone to do that. Also have us in the chat, Legion Talk. Hail, good to see you, man. We had, and of course, Luke Cassidy, as always. Sorry about the awful right off the bat. Normally, I wait a minute till we get into that.
I mean, you can slightly blame me.
Yeah. So, all right. Oh, hey, Andy Pickle. Good to see you. Yeah,
What's up, Andy?
pretty much. Sometimes the void screams back. Usually when it stubs its toe. Anywho, it is good to be back with the crew here. We might have some appearances from some other people we will see down the road here. Also, I would like to mention, this is episode number 92. If all goes well, if I don't have to put off any weeks or anything like that, that means it's 8 weeks until our 100th episode.
Oh, geez.
Which,
nice.
Yeah, will be pretty cool. I'm going to put out a bunch of invites and see about getting a bunch of people on. People who've been here before, some people who haven't been on in a long time, that kind of thing, and we'll just kind of have a free for all conversation and see what happens. It should be a good time. We're not going to be drinking. This is not Dermy's channel. So, but yeah, no, it should be. I'm hoping that it'll be a good time. We'll see how it turns out. I might even reach out to some previous guests who have only been on the one time. That would be pretty cool. Yes, Luke Castley. You know that includes you, right? It'd be fantastic. Hey, Suka, good to see you. Screaming into the Samuel's face. Yeah, that happens a lot. So, you know what's funny? So my internet kind of cut out a little bit when you guys were saying hi to guests on Beelzebub last night, and when you got to Beak, right? And everybody was just like, "How do we pronounce this?" It's just Beak. You know, like on the face of a bird.
Well, like I'm always, everyone knows it at this point. I'm dyslexic, and so I read stuff. Sometimes I read it wrong, and so whenever like there's simple names like that, I'm always like, am I? You know, it's one thing if there's like a really difficult name, it has like, you know, really long, a lot of syllables, a lot of, you know, fine. Okay, I'll get that wrong. No problem. But when it's like something like that, I'm all like, am I going to fuck this up? And people are going to be like, really? Damn, dude. Like, you know, I think that's just, you know, after years of it, just that's what makes me concerned is messing up the simple names. I was all like, am I reading this right? It's Beak, right? It's not.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, Beak's cool people. Beak has been with me forever. You know, came over from Exile Linus channel and stuck around. Likes what we do, which is pretty cool because sometimes it's pretty messed up. So, you know, I mean, not like threading nose hairs messed up, but yeah.
I'll need to just start going with names like Tim 1, Tim 2, Tim right. After Tim 4000, we'll go to Steve 1, 2, 3, 4. Be easy.
Yeah. So, which reminds me, actually, last night on Abyssal Musings, I had started to kind of give context to why Dermy got kicked in the balls. Because Nomi showed up and she told the threading story from her point of view, which, by the way, is a whole lot less intimidating the way she tells it. But and she's like, and for some reason, right after, Adam went up and kneed him in the balls, and I was like, why would you do that? I was like, well, there's a reason for that, but it's kind of a longer story. But you're like, Devil, you know more about that than I.
Okay, a while ago, this was a while ago. Dermy stupidly said, I'd be tased for like $50. Well, as we know, Dermy's fans love to see him in pain, so $50 came in really quickly. Then somebody said, you should have done a pepper spray. He says, well, I'll do that for another 50. Somebody donates another 50. And so somehow by the end, we had it where he was going to be tased by Soldier Spirit, pepper sprayed by who was going to pepper spray him? Cash Kester, I believe, is the one who got to pepper spray him. And then Gal was supposed to punch him in the dick because she said she was going to punch him at the last meetup. She flaked because she can't be trusted. And so we're okay. So he was going to be mangled. This was going to be Dermy's pain. Well, Soldier Spirit he was going to drive his truck down with his RV and stay at like an RV park. His truck broke, like literally a day before he's going to leave or something. His truck breaks down. So he's panicked. He's ended up having to take a plane down like 2 days later than he expected, or 3 days later. Well, my problem is you can't bring a taser and pepper spray on a plane. He probably could have maybe in his luggage, but he didn't think of that, left it behind. So Dermy couldn't be punished the way he was supposed to. The beard threading and stuff happened after that was secondary. So after he got his beard threaded and his nose hairs ripped out, which was pretty funny, Adam Soldier Spirit said, dude, since I can't tase you, I'm going to kick you in the dick. But I'm not going to kick you really. I'm going to do like one of those wrestler kicks where it's like, you know, fake. But it'll be good for the camera. He goes, okay, no problem. So then Soldier Spirit, totally not knowing anything of how to fake kick, literally kicked him in the dick. And so he got his nose hairs ripped down as he's like literally recovering from that in pain. He got kicked in the dick. And this is all on camera. Yes, they showed it last night. There's a whole video of him being threaded, but since he wasn't in pain, except for when she did the under eyes, when she did the bottom half of his eyebrows, it actually was hurting him. But that's because your eye, the skin over your eyes is so sensitive. But when she was threading his beard and stuff, she said it was going to hurt so much, and Dermy's just sitting there going, "No, it's not bad at all. No problem." So when I did mine, I was like, okay, I'm gonna make it look a little more painful than it was. But actually, when I was getting my arm done, it was painful at all. Like I was so concerned. I was like, I'm gonna rip my damn arm hair out. This is gonna suck. But I don't. Yeah, I was all like, yeah, I could see why women have no problem with this. It's waxing is not that painful. So I don't even know if they're gonna put that video out. I wouldn't. It was stupid, but whatever.
Yeah. It's funny because on Monday over on the Renaissance Nerds channel, you were kind of telling that story then, and then Dermy came on, and he started telling it, and the way he tells it was this like whole other thing. So last night, Nomi comes on, and she's telling us, she's like, yeah, and I was just like, hey, why don't you tip? He's so tall, and I could see that he had these nose hairs. So I was just like, why don't you tilt your head back, and I'll get those nose hairs. And the way Dermy tells that story is that she marched up to him with purpose and said, "Tilt your head back, bitch." It's totally different stories.
Hers is much more accurate. Dermy is, I don't know if it's because he's trusting or if it's because his like complete lack of intelligence, but you can get him to do stuff just like asking him, even though he's been like 100 times, right? So all you have to do is literally just go, "Hey, Dermy, like turn to the side a little bit," and then all of a sudden there's a meme of him with a dick in his mouth, and he's like so surprised, and it's all like, dude, when somebody tells you to turn to the side, say no. Like that's how the pedophile picture of him was caught. Because Adam literally just said, "Hey, Dermy, just stare right at the camera for a second." And Dermy did it. And yeah, now that face is out there forever. And same thing. She just said, "Tilt your head back." And he's all, "Oh, what? Okay." And like tilts his head back. And then, yeah, she just got his nose hair. So yeah. But
yeah. It's, I look at it like this because Dermy's not actually a stupid man. He really isn't, but he's
trusting.
So I had this, I had this roommate years ago, right? And she was a wonderful person, and was actually whip smart, but she was book smart. She was not street smart.
Yeah.
Right. So she was unbelievably trusting when she should not have been.
Yeah.
And totally unaware of her surroundings and unaware of like social cues and that kind of thing. We went to a concert in Denver out on East Colfax, right? Which is, for those of you who have been to Denver and specifically East Colfax as it goes out towards Aurora, it's not a good neighborhood. It's it's the kind of neighborhood you really don't want to be out and about in when the sun starts going down, because that's when all the gangbangers and the tranny hookers come out. It turns into a Escape from New York hellscape pretty quickly. It's not so bad in the daytime, but yeah. So we're waiting in the will call line, and the sun starts going down and shit. And she's looking around, she's seeing all this happen around her, and she starts like acting nervous. And we're just like, dude, stop acting like a victim. You're going to get all of us killed. It's like they can smell fear.
I think we mentioned that on Iron Show yesterday, that there's, like you said, there's two kinds of smart. There's book smart, which means you can read stuff, you can memorize it, you can take tests, you can do all that shit. And then there's, like you said, street smarts, thinking critically, being able to think yourself out of situations. They're two totally different things. Right. There are people who, go to college, get a doctorate in shit, and they're dumber than bricks. There's two types of intelligence, and just assuming that because you're able to memorize a textbook and doesn't mean if you're put in a situation, you're going to be able to, consciously think your way out of a bad situation or fix something. Like my father, you throw some mechanical shit in front of him, and, even though he has never seen that thing a day in his life, 24 hours later, he could have it fixed, put back together, whatever it is. I don't have that. I can think myself out of situations. I'm good at critical thought. I'm just not good at that, being able to see something and put it together in my head. So yeah, there's we were talking about that on Irons. The same thing, the idea that, these people who think they're so smart, like politicians, but yet, they're dumber than shit.
Yeah. Yeah. And, and that's, it is, they're, a lot of that comes down to experience though. Like Lucas is asking in chat, what makes a person so trusting? Generally it's lack of experience with other human beings, so like people who tend to be like really sheltered, cops, kids, priest kids, that kind of thing, kept in the home, away from other people and all the awful shit out in the world. Like you don't want to expose kids to all the awful shit in the world, but you should expose them to some of it so that they're prepared, because sooner or later you're not going to be there to shield them from it, right? Some of these guys, they get out there and they have never really experienced what the real world is like in any capacity, and so they just assume that everybody's trustworthy, like the folks they grew up around. Which is it can be fatal. So and that was in my friend's case. She was a cop's daughter from a very small town with a very small community, an insular community. So she was not in any way prepared for experiencing the big city. So it was one of the reasons she went with us, because I've experienced the big city a lot. It's part of why I live in the middle of nowhere now. Because I don't trust people. So
yeah, me neither. I'm right there with you, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's been a consistent issue with like Gen Zers and TikTokers and that sort of thing, is because they're so insular with their online reality, right? They don't go outside. They don't interact with real people. They don't, go play softball in the park on weekends or anything like that. They don't experience like real life. And so when it's thrust upon them, right, when they're forced to confront it, then you end up with what, we're seeing all the time now, which is like meltdowns and lash outs and people, just being utterly incapable of dealing with the real world.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
just
I think Dermy, he's a people pleaser too. So if you ask him to do something, he'll just do it. And like I said, sometimes that bites him in the ass really bad, especially with Adam, because Adam loves to, like I said, get faces of him and him doing stuff. That's the reason when they got him to say Big Daddy. They had been fighting with him for like weeks at that point, trying to get him to say Big Daddy. And he said, I'll do it if you give X amount of money. No one wanted to do it. They wanted to just trick him into saying it. So like one day when he was completely hammered, him and Gal coaxed him into finally saying it. And it's because he's all like, I can't disprove what you guys said. They said he got the donation and he has to say it. And so he's all Big Daddy, and they still have that clip, still use it against him today. So it's him, him being sheltered, but also him just being such a trusting person. So it's a little both.
Yeah, a little bit. And that Big Daddy clip is soul crushing, by the way. I fucking hate the little video that Adam put together for that. It like makes part of me die every time I watch it. It's like, God, I feel really bad for Dermy now. Thanks a lot. Now I have pity for the guy.
Yeah. Yep. If everyone wants to blame somebody, it's Gal's fault. Just saying. You should all shame her.
It can't be her fault. She can't reach the camera. We got to real quick coming in. I showed some stuff on screen here, but welcome in Bernie and Shock. Good to see you guys.
Hey, Shock.
So I was looking for stuff to have topics for today, and yesterday the news world exploded.
Yeah.
Yesterday was batshit. There was so much messed up shit that happened in one day. Most of it in the United States. Yeah. It's like, I don't know, something in the water.
I don't know. There's a lot of just fucked up shit.
Yeah. Couple of things we'll probably touch on. There was I'm going to say a gentleman, I'm going to be polite here, who immolated himself in front of the courthouse where Trump's trial is taking place in New York City. There was a senior skip day water gun fight that ended with real shootings. A bunch of teenagers got shot. Yeah. Just and did you happen to catch that regarding the immolation? Did you happen to catch that clip where one of the journalists on site like immediately starts going, "There's an active shooter."
What? Like,
Yeah.
Like that's what they need on top of that. They're trying to deal with this dude who crazily lit himself up. And then somebody freaking decides to make everyone panic, yelling that crap. What a dick.
A CNN reporter. Looks like Laura Coates. Yeah. I'll bring. And immediately after that, she stops going with the it was it's an active shooter thing. Then she just starts doing this like whole ESPN fucking play-by-play. It's really fucked up. We're not gonna play the whole thing. She goes on for like several minutes, but we'll get the beginning of that where she says the active shooter bit. It's this woman here. Let me get my cursor in the right place. There we go.
What do you say? We also are seeing an active shooter in the park outside the court. We have a man he has set fire to himself. A man has emblazoned himself outside of the courthouse just now. Our cameras are turning right now. A man has now lit himself on fire outside of the courthouse in Manhattan, where we are waiting his history to be made. A full jury panel is gone. We are watching a man who is fully emblazoned by the courthouse today.
All right, I'm probably going to stop there because, like I said, she goes on for a while about that, and also, so I don't really want to watch this guy burn again.
Yeah.
It's like you can't open the fucking app without seeing somebody die, man.
What's that? The second one this year? Is it one of those things where, like, it used to have some true meaning, like when the monk set himself on fire in Tiananmen Square? That was something really huge because people just didn't do that. If all these crazies are going to start doing this shit, it's going to lose its effect really quickly. It's going to be like somebody's going to do this. They're going to be like, oh, look, another one. Dumbass. Like it's just, I don't know what it is. Why? It makes no sense. You're not changing nothing. The guy who did it before did the whole, Biden all of a sudden go, well, okay, we're going to stop backing Israel. We're going to, no, it had no effect. You didn't do shit, dude. You killed yourself for nothing, you dumbass. And now this dude.
It didn't change anything when the monk did it in fucking, in the 70s either.
Yeah, but at least it put like a shock through everybody else besides China. The rest of the world went, whoa. But yeah, this, like I said, when this guy did this, I was all like, oh God, why is he doing this stupid shit? Turns out it's because he had like conspiracy theories. I don't know. I'm not gonna say anything about that because the fact is, too often now conspiracy theories end up being real. So I'll just leave it at that. But still, did all of a sudden, there was just a consciousness change in this country? No, everyone was just like, oh my God, what's wrong? And of course, either side's probably going to spin their thing. Oh, he's burning himself because Trump's trying to get away with this, and stuff. But otherwise, it really didn't move any needles. So what was the point of doing it? I mean, I get it if you did that and all of a sudden change came, right? But if nothing's going to come of it, why do something so drastic as that? It just, I don't know, stupid.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, it's, I don't know. It's, I can't really, I don't have any way to connect with this guy or to empathize with him whatsoever. I can't fucking imagine setting myself on fire. I've been on fire through no fault of my own. It's not fucking fun. You know, I would never willingly do that to myself, you know? So yeah. It's just, I don't get it myself. There is video from Libs of TikTok of the man who set himself on fire. Apparently his name was Max Azzarello. Singing to himself in his car with a kind of a crazy look on his face. You know, I've been debating whether or not we should show that. I think we're going to. It's not very long. You know, he doesn't do anything actually crazy except for look like he's going to do something crazy. Let me see about bringing that up here. And he kind of looks like do you know who Thomas Middleditch is?
No.
Okay, he's an actor. He's he did I think he did some stuff for one of the big phone companies. I think it was the same one that AT&T, like Lily or whatever, or maybe it was Verizon or some shit. I don't remember, but he's a comedian. Did you ever watch Silicon Valley?
I've seen a couple things, but I didn't watch it like, the whole series or anything. Just
Well, he plays the main character. The only reason I'm bringing him up is because this guy kind of reminds me of Thomas Middleditch a little bit. So
the
just
second I see
physically,
him, I'll probably go, oh yeah, I know that guy.
yeah. All right.
Start a fucking revolution.
I'm not advocating for this.
Start a fucking revolution. Start a fucking revolution. You've got nothing to lose.
So,
Woo! Holy shit!
yeah, that's clearly somebody who's on the edge, right?
Well, it's also somebody who's got such a kind of self-inflated thing. Starting revolution, like I said, it can be done by some, act, some drastic act. It's just him thinking he's going to be the one who does it by something like that. Like I said, it's kind of arrogant. I don't know. When somebody starts a revolution, sometimes it's just a real weird act that they never thought would end up doing it. Some act that, like, I don't want to say it did it, but like when the girl put the flour in the fucking barrel of the gun, something like that, something simple as that. Yeah, can be some catalyst for people to start thinking about stuff and actually cause change. But I don't know. To think you're going to sit in your car, sing a song like that, put it out on TikTok, and then go set yourself on fire, and everyone's just going to jump on board with your fucking ideas and stuff. I don't know, kind of arrogant to me.
Yeah. I don't get it. I don't get the whole martyrdom thing. I don't understand people who would do that, who would, like, I kind of get suicide, to a degree. I've been in places in my own life where that's been something that's possibly come up. I've known a lot of people who have both attempted it and actually succeeded. I kind of get it. I'm not saying I agree with it, because I don't, I think it's what you do when you give up. But the way that some of these guys are choosing to do it, they're, to make a statement out of it, to make a splash or whatever. These are not pleasant ways to go, and I just, I don't, it doesn't connect in my head. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, they're trying to do it through the shock factor. But like I said, think about how many people have done radical, crazy acts with a purpose to it of, like I said, either creating change or a revolution or waking people up, right? How many people have done something really stupidly drastic, and how many times has it really been truly successful? I'm betting out of the thousands of people who've killed themselves for stupid reasons because they thought it was gonna, the people are gonna, say my name in 100 years, as some sort of, father of this idea, and then nothing comes of it. So yeah, you're kind of playing real low odds there. Like I said, there's a very handful of times where people's death and the way they killed themselves has actually sparked the change that they were trying to accomplish. It's not that common. So most of the time you just, I don't know, burn yourself alive or blow yourself up or whatever it is, and nothing comes of it. It's absolutely worthless, and you died for no purpose. But I mean, maybe it's the human condition to try to give purpose to yourself, your life, and that's the way they want to do it. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, it's only a hop, skip, and a jump from these like stop oil sons of bitches going around and like, mutilating paintings, or, these guys who are gluing themselves to the streets and shit like that. They're trying to bring attention to a cause that they believe is a worthy cause. I can respect that. What I can't respect is the fact that what they're doing is so flashy, is so out there, that all they're doing is drawing attention to their stupidity, and nobody paying any attention to the cause that they're trying to promote or raise awareness of or whatever.
Yeah, especially
and in the process, usually damaging property and costing a lot of time and manpower and tax dollars.
Yeah, especially now, because like I said, you have back when these things really worked, you had news on once a night, a lot of stuff that happened in the world you just didn't know about, type thing. Now with the internet, like I said, all this stuff's kind of been watered down. Crazy is just a common thing we see every day on our feeds. So when people do stuff like this, yeah, like I said, it's not as effective. In fact, now, you have cringe. So much stuff goes over into the cringe. Maybe, 60 years ago, it wouldn't have been cringe. It would have been like, whoa, maybe I need to start thinking about this. But now, like him doing this, it's not it's cringe. It's sad. It's like, oh God, dude, really? You're going to freaking kill yourself? Freaking moron. It doesn't have the same effect as it used to when people just weren't as aware of everything happening in the world. Now, it has absolutely no effect. It's even stupider.
You're right, and it's because the connectivity of the modern world kind of any shock value that might have once held is severely watered down by our repeated exposure to the most fucked up things in the furthest corners of the globe.
Yeah,
so yeah, it's which kind of indicates that there's only ever going to be escalation because people just aren't getting the message. Obviously, the ones who are crazy enough to do something like this to themselves are, they're willing to go through with this and all that stuff. And they obviously haven't learned the lesson of people past who have done similar things and also not succeeded, in what their stated goal was. Obviously, I don't believe that Mr. Azzarello survived. I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure that he didn't. Nor did the gentleman outside of the White House. What was this, last month before that?
Yeah. Was he in front of an embassy or something?
It might have been. I don't know. He was in DC though, right?
Yeah, he was. I think he was Air Force. But he was like a far leftist who went into the Air Force. Go figure. Yeah. It's the same thing with these protesters. That's another thing, right? You have these climate protesters that will glue themselves to the ground and stuff. There were people back in like the, I think it was 60s or 50s or wherever, they would chain themselves to trees to try to get the logging companies out to do stuff. And you might see that on the news, and that might affect you because you're all like, whoa, they're really going to that extreme. When, like I said, when you have these dumbasses gluing themselves to roads all over the world, it's no longer effective. Now I just see them as a complete nuisance and like wish people would hit the gas and gun it. It's everything's been watered down. Every single thing. people still want to LARP as revolutionaries, still want to LARP as they're fighting something. And most of the time, it turns out whatever they're trying to fight is actually just bullshit. It's like these people, oh, we're fighting against racism. Okay, so you just want to be the people who were marching in Selma, right? Those people actually were marching and risking something. If you're a college student now and you're saying, I'm fighting against racism, you're wasting your damn time. You're not fighting against shit. You're not actually doing anything. You're not putting any risk because the school's not going to hold you accountable. You're not going to lose your opportunities. Those people are going to be, chomped on by dogs and actually beaten by cops. You're going to get a pat on the back and some likes on your freaking, post. You're not risking anything. You're not a, fighter for some cause. You're wasting your time. You're wasting everyone's time. Same with these climate activist tards.
It occurs to me, and Eddie Pickle said something earlier in chat about Generation X, which is my generation too, kind of having no cause, nothing worthy to stand up for, to fight for, whatever. And so we kind of just, to be fair, most of us didn't give a shit either. Later generations, like, they didn't have anything to strive for, anything to fix, because it had been done already. We were as close to peak civilization as I think maybe it might even be possible to get in the late 90s. And the problem with that is, it's like you're saying, these guys, they go out and they invent dragons to slay. They invent they start tilting at windmills, thinking they're giants. And the issue that we're having now is that now there is something to fight back against. And the problem is that these very people, these very, very young people who decided to go out and fight these imaginary dragons, became the dragon they were seeking to slay.
Yep. That's exactly it. It's like the soldier that doesn't know when to put down the weapon, after you've won the war. It's time to just live and try to find that happiness, but you can't, because you're still, it's the same kind of mindset. These ideas that feminism, the first wave feminism, had a goal, it achieved that goal. Second wave feminism had a goal, achieved that goal. Third wave feminism, there was no more goals. They had got equality. So instead of saying, okay, now we can just, enjoy that, they had to come up with, the patriarchy, and all this bullshit, because, like you said, they needed to create a dragon. They needed to create something to fight against that wasn't really there, and is just, bullshit. And a lot of these teens going through college, their professors actually marched against the war, the Vietnam War. They actually marched against maybe racism, and like I said, so they're sitting there telling them about how, I used to be part of the Weather Underground, or whatever. And they want that same feeling. They want to feel this feeling that somehow they're fighting for a cause bigger than themselves and stuff. And so it's a lot of the stuff you see youth now chasing these things. It's all just bullshit. It's all made up in their own heads that there's this injustice happening that they're going to be the one who solves. It is.
Yeah. Well, it goes back to, and when I say the word men here, I'm referring to the species, not the sex. But all men crave purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And without that purpose, we struggle to find one. And like that, this applies to the old, the young. There's a reason that a lot of people today retire. They kind of just like dwindle away because they feel like they have no purpose. There's a reason that a lot of young people go out and they start doing fucking stupid shit. It's because they feel as though they have no purpose. They're searching for one, but they're doing it in the wrong places. And so and when we achieved peak civilization, we kind of took the point anything for everybody.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that we should have problems. We shouldn't invent problems or anything like that, because obviously that has created greater and more real problems today. But I think that might have contributed to it.
Yeah.
So
True.
I don't know.
Sorry, I wasn't here for the conversation.
Cal, where are you at on this?
Huh?
I said, Cal, where are you on this? Okay, never mind.
I'm back.
You know,
Sorry.
She's all like, she's
well,
knowing Gal.
you know, so all right, Gal is doing she's doing a series on her channel called Cooking the Books, where she's reading like classic stuff. And I keep pushing her to pick up Frankenstein. And the reason that I keep doing this, and I know there are people out there who disagree with me, probably people who haven't actually read the fucking book. It is in fact science fiction. It's also horror. So is Alien. Alien is both. It can be both things. You know? But it isn't about that. It's so much as about what the story itself represents. It's about striving for the unachievable, and in doing so creating a much larger problem. You know, it's where you become, you know, the very thing that you were seeking to, you know, kind of thing. I mean, not to spoil it for everybody, but the book's almost 300 years old. You know, so yeah, it's out there.
I think you can spoil it, Sam.
Essentially, a young Victor, his mother dies of like fucking tuberculosis or some shit like that, right? And he feels powerless, and he questions God, and he goes through all of the same things that a young person of any era would, you know, when they're unable to prevent a tragedy that happens to somebody they love. And so he vows that he will one day conquer death, so that this will never happen to somebody he loves again, kind of thing. Which is what leads him down the path to creating the monster, the creature, right? Which never receives a name in the book. Frankenstein is the scientist, not the creation. Later on in some other stuff, I think it's referred to as Adam, but it never actually gets a name in the book. And he creates this thing, and immediately rejects it out of hand when he's struck with the horror of what he's done, where he has tread where only God himself has the right to tread, which is to bring life to an inanimate matter. And so he freaks out, runs away, which of course the creature, being essentially a newborn, right, is extraordinarily traumatized by his creator freaking out and running away and abandoning him in his first moments of life, which leads to all of the fucking bad shit that happens later. Right. And it's just, it's that kind of, you know, just because we can doesn't mean we should. And once we've ignored those warnings, we've gone past the fucking markers saying, do not tread any further. It's about not avoiding responsibility for the fucking disaster that you caused.
Right. And I feel like we're already ignoring those things, those warnings.
Right. And I think it's a very, very appropriate book for these times, all times really. But, you know, I see the parallels now. And again, book was written by a 16-year-old girl in like, you know, 18, like 1711 or some shit like that. I don't know. It was a long time ago, but yeah, go. If you haven't read it, guys, I highly recommend it. It's a very good read. It's not that long. And it's very relevant to today. I think it always will be, actually. You know, but yeah, that's where we're at, man. We've created a Frankenstein's monster with Gen Z, you know, and we honestly, we kind of rejected them out of hand too. And now they're coming back, and they're a problem for everybody. You know,
yep.
Like make me a companion so that I will not be lonely. And if you do not do what I ask you, then I will make your life hell. That's exactly what we're seeing, straight out of Frankenstein.
Oh yeah, I agree. We parents stop. When you raise your kids, you're not just supposed to teach them right from wrong. You're also supposed to keep them in line. It's your job as a parent to raise them right. Like I said, not just a little bit, but all the bit. You gotta freaking, you know,
them, clothe them, actually teach them.
Yeah, exactly.
Nurture
and
them.
we let them get out of hand by sitting there and feeding into these like just stupid thoughts. And now it's become normal where, like, you know, your kid watches TikTok and realizes the best way to get attention is by acting like they have Tourette's or some shit, you're supposed to, you know, push them away from that. You're supposed to say, no, that you don't have Tourette's, and stop being stupid. You know, get back in there and study. You know, don't give me no lip. Now they just kind of shucked off that responsibility. And so when these kids see this thing, they just glom onto it. And now you have these kids that it's gone so far that when the parent does finally try to push back against it, they're told they're the wrong ones, and these kids are going to hurt themselves. And if you really love your kid, you'll just buy into their delusions and stuff. Otherwise, something bad might happen. I think a lot of parents are being held kind of captive by that. You know, they want to tell their kids, suck it up, Junior, and, you know, stop being stupid. Unfortunately, they have all these people who call themselves professionals, and they're saying if you don't affirm your kids' delusion, they might hurt themselves, they might kill themselves. And I think there's some parents are into it because they buy into that too. Some, I think, are really seeing they're just scared they're going to lose their children because of this like mind virus that is essentially happening. So.
Yeah. I'm seeing in the chat some talk about YouTube taking comments out as soon as you put them in. You guys are gonna have to get used to that. It's, you know, if you're gonna be on YouTube, it's only gonna get worse this year. It's been happening to me on multiple fucking channels. Every other comment I put in, even if it's not something controversial or particularly terribly worded or whatever, sometimes they just take them out. You know.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
It happened to me on a Gal stream because the YouTube algorithm doesn't see context. So when she was doing Animal Farm, I think I put a comment at the end. She said, do you guys see any connections to like now from the story? And I think I put something, pigs still stink or something or something like that. And because the algorithm thought I was talking about cops, that I was seeing there, you know, being an asshole about cops, it just ixnayed my comment. There was no bad words in it. There was nothing, you know, but so yeah, just have to reword stuff. If it doesn't pop up, try putting it a different way and see if it'll go through that way. But as far as the algorithm hitting your guys' things, that, yeah, there's nothing we can do about it. That's YouTube.
Yeah. Those are bots for YouTube, that kind of thing. And I get, like Suka, he says, all I said was Rumble. Yeah, that's YouTube hates Rumble.
Yeah.
They don't like us talking about it. They don't like us linking, you know, things to Rumble or anything like that. And they will shut it down as much as possible. The only thing I would say, Devil, to kind of push back a little bit on what you're saying there, is that I mean, on the one hand, yeah, if you don't word it the way that the bots are accepting it, you're not going to be heard, and I get that, and I get why that's a problem. But I also, you got to understand, man, this is how they're training us to fucking speak and think the way they want us to.
Yeah.
You know, because you know, well, you know, if I couldn't say it this way, maybe if I say it this way, it's a little more acceptable, or a little bit more like this. And eventually you'll find yourself correcting yourself in your head before you even type the thing out in the first place.
Well, no, I mean, I get that, but at the same time, it's if somebody's gonna try to stop you saying from what you say, sometimes you just got to go around them. It's more about skirting them than just letting them not make you talk at all. If somebody's seen there saying you can't say that, and you just go okay and walk home, they've won. But if you go, okay, what if I change this word to this word? You still get your message out there. It's not the exact one, but at least people are still hearing you.
It's still the Underground Railroad.
Yeah.
Concept.
Either way, YouTube has small PP energy.
Yes, they do. Very small. It's not even small dick energy, because that would imply they were adults.
Yep.
It's small PP energy because they're fucking children. That's right. I said that on YouTube. We'll see how much longer we stay on YouTube.
I love when you get in this mood, Sam.
I'm so sick of this fucking shit. I am.
Me too.
I'm tired. Like, look, so you guys know all about the Section 230 debate and all that stuff, which has kind of been gone by the wayside for a while now. Nobody's talking about this shit. They should be. But so Section 230 provides protections for platforms. It does not provide protections for publishers. Publishers curate content, platforms simply host it. Right?
Yep.
YouTube, Facebook, even Rumble to an extent, Instagram, all of the places, which are all owned by like two fucking guys anyway. All of them curate content, and all of them claim to be platforms, not publishers, so that they can, receive protection from, lawsuits, from, any sort of liability whatsoever. The problem is that they are not platforms; they're publishers, because they are behaving like publishers. They curate content. They censor people. I have no problem with them receiving these protections. If I say something on a platform, right, that's a pure platform, that's so fucked up that that I end up getting in trouble with like the law, or with like civil legal stuff, or whatever, because I said the thing, I'm liable for it. I'm good with that, right? I am absolutely okay with that. It's like, you want to come after me because I said something, fine. I said it, so sure. And I get that, but I'm okay with having the responsibility put on me, right? For some reason, though, you got these, I say for some reason, you got these people out there who are pushing for like, oh, well, we got to shut down any kind of speech that's like even remotely like unsavory, kind of shit. And that's where we get into the trouble, because a lot of these quote unquote platforms are funded by people who say, you got to do this, 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 and this, or you won't get our fucking money anymore. And so they do this, 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 and this, but all of those things, this, and this, all of that falls under the fucking publisher category, which annuls their protection from Section 230. But none of this is fucking enforced. None of it.
Right.
It's honestly, in my opinion, one of the biggest fucking failings of the Trump administration.
Yeah.
Because it fucking ignored it.
And to me, it's even more insidious than that, because the fact is, it'd be one thing if you said, okay, you have these three companies. One won't let you speak about stuff that is against the left. The other one won't let you speak about stuff that's against the right. And then there's the one down the middle that says free speech. You can say whatever you want and we won't freaking hold you back. Unfortunately, that's not what we have here. We have these other companies that are suppressing speech, actually actively coordinating, keeping companies that do push free speech down. They're suppressing them. They're keeping them. They can't sit there and say it's a free market and everyone should, if you don't like using YouTube, just go to another place. Well, how are we supposed to do that if YouTube keeps coordinating with other tech companies to make sure that those companies aren't allowed on the stores,
right?
That those companies aren't allowed to actually, or with media companies to demonize those ones. I mean, we've had a couple where the tech company has come out, the social media company, and we're all like gung-ho about it and everyone's excited about it, and then all of a sudden you see literally 100 articles that it is where neo-Nazis hang out and stuff, essentially killing their people actually going there and checking it out, and then they get kicked off the store because somebody said the N-word on their site, and so they can't sell on the app stores, and so no one can use it, and it effectively destroys that social media company. So it's actively them saying, we're not going to say you can't say that on our site, but you can go over there and say that if you want to say it over. If you want to say that, go to their site. No, they're actively saying
Parler, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. We're not going to let you say that on our site. You can't go to that site because we destroyed that site. So now you're stuck with us. So now you're just not allowed to say it. That's the problem I have. I'm not against companies having rules of their own. Okay, if you want to say you can't say the N-word on your company, fine. But don't destroy that company that says, look, we don't agree with the N-word, but we're not going to suppress anyone's speech. We're not going to endorse it. We're just not going to stop you.
Yeah, well, like Devil, I agree with you that like if a private company wants to run itself, however the fuck it wants, that's fine. It should still adhere to the rules that are in place, like Section 230, for example. It's like that's that and the antitrust laws that should have prevented the fucking destruction of Parler, right? None of that shit was enforced by the government. And if the government is not going to enforce the actual laws that are on the books, then what the fuck the point is having a government? What point is there? Yeah, well, obviously, yeah. I'm right there with you guys, man. I just want to sink into the sea like Atlantis of old. But yeah, but like they need to pick a fucking lane, frankly.
Yeah.
You cannot have it both ways. You can't have your cake and eat it too. That's not how it fucking works. And if it is working like that, then somebody ought to do something about it. I think Rumble's trying. I think Elon Musk is trying with Twix. I don't know that we'll get there. Because I think Parler is actually still around, but only because they started playing ball.
Yeah.
And
it's, no one really knows, so it just hasn't grown because they stopped it before it could.
Yeah. So, on live did murder is the word you're looking for. They murdered it with extreme prejudice. And yes, is there a single one of the Bill of Rights that aren't an attack? I'm not sure that there is. Honestly, I mean, obviously they got to take out the second, and then the rest are, pretty easy after that. But it's not like they're actively going after just the Second Amendment. They're not. They're going after all of them. I mean, even now, is it the Third Amendment or the fourth? It's the third, I think, that guarantees that you don't have to quarter enemy soldiers, right, in your home.
Yep.
Yeah, that's New York City is starting to fucking force citizens to house invaders.
Yep.
Boston was trying to do the same.
They were just trying to pass a bill in the House that is essentially going to take away your right to privacy on the internet. They're going to literally be able to see anything you put on the internet without warrants. So illegal search and seizure, that's gone. Goodbye.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that started years ago too, man. When I lived in Colorado a long time ago, there was a referendum that was passed. And essentially what that was that parents could apply this sticker to the bumper of their car, right, near the license plate.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have that sticker on your car, it essentially waives your Fourth Amendment rights. Right? It's
saying,
basically
you can look through my car.
Signal, pretty much. And it was the idea that sold it was up there, like, oh yeah, you could search my car and make sure that they're not up to, bad things. But it's like, dude, you don't understand what waiving your rights is, apparently, because it's not limited to making sure your kids don't have a fucking bong in the back seat.
Right.
You're cutting out real bad, Sam.
Really
robotic.
It's but yeah, there was.
Oh, and we might have lost him. You there?
Hello. I'm here. Maybe
every second.
All
right, how's that?
Good. You're better. Can you hear us? Sam.
How's that? Hello. I hear you guys just fine.
Please, sir, can I have another?
Yeah, you literally cut out for a while. We thought you left.
But yes, you're not just waiving your rights for your kid to not have a bong.
Yeah.
You're waiving your rights to just anytime they want to pull you over, they can look through your shit. Is a summation, I think, of what you were saying. If you heard me.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
I don't think that it works. I don't think anybody's doing that anymore because they did eventually see oh wait, no, this just gives cops more unconstitutional power.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a thing for a while. I think this was in the mid 2000s or the mid aughts. Somewhere in that territory. But yeah, you just don't give away your rights, people. Fight for them.
Yeah.
Fight for them lest you lose them.
Well, I think that's where we're heading because I think we've gone pretty much too far down this road. I think any of our kids might not have all their rights when it's all said and done. I think you're coming up on where they're going to have to fight for them again.
Yeah.
What's that saying oh God, I can't remember it. Where you have
Soft
to
men create hard times.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever
We're
that thing.
Weakmans. Yeah.
Yeah.
we're gonna have to I don't want to say another revolutionary war, but we're gonna have to have a fight, not to take back what was taken from us. I don't think we're gonna do it through legislation or through pleading for it. That time's pretty much coming to an end. It's going to be where your kids are going to have to actually pick up arms and say, we're taking it back. And like I say, God knows how long that would last. But
Yeah. Sad.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think we lost Sam.
Yeah. God damn it.
we heard that.
He was cutting off. And then he hears us.
God damn.
And that's what comes clear bright as day. Hi Sam, how's it going?
That happened yesterday too. Hi. It's going. How are you? Motherfucking stream notes. Anyway, yeah.
You got to give us either me or Gal. You got to give us like admin so that like if you cut out or something because your internet's so wonky, dude.
Yeah, I know. I gotta spread around the power a little bit.
Eldritch beings aren't used to that though.
We'll work that out.
Didn't catch any of that.
It's very Can you hear me at all?
Come true. Yes, we can.
Swearing does fix a connection.
Or being mouthy like a toddler. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm getting frustrated with it. I'm sorry.
I know. It's entertaining me, so it's fine.
My works when he swears. Yeah, it is what it is. Okay, I'm gonna try this one more time. We're in the middle of the weak men make hard phase. The problem is that these faithful for each one. Right. So we're heading into the hard times part. The strong men isn't gonna happen for a while yet. We'll be too fucking old.
Yeah.
You know, by the time that comes around. Unless we do something now. You know. I'm assuming you guys got all that this time.
No, we didn't. We didn't get. We understood what you're saying.
Stopped at weak men make hard.
Yeah, weak men make hard. But we get what you're saying. You know, the thing is yeah, it's kind of crazy, and I know it sounds like militia talk. You need to make kids, people. You need to have kids, and you need to make them like freaking John Connor, like freaking Terminator style, right? Start training your kids. Start freaking, you know, like I'm not saying like make your kids into like crazies that, you know, pick up a weapon at the drop of a hat, but just make sure they're trained and that they know what they're doing and that they know of their rights. Because if they do try to take them, the only way they're going to know it's being taken from them is if they understand what they are. And people don't really tell their kids about the, you know, Constitution and stuff like that. They expect that the school's going to do it. Oh, the school will tell them about the Bill of Rights and their, you know, who actually gave it to them. It's not the government. It's your Lord, your whoever you believe your creator is, gave you your rights. we don't teach kids that no more. We just assume this school's going to do it, and school's not doing it because they're part of the people taking it away.
Yeah.
So yeah, make children and teach them and make sure they understand that when that person comes to your house and the cops come to your house and try to just walk in, that they can say, no, you don't have the right to do that. And that if the government tries to change something that changes that, to fight against it.
Yep.
Hey, there's Sam.
I didn't cut out there. All I said was "yep." By the way.
I know. He just says like one word phrases every now and again. Maybe they heard that one.
Yeah.
It's like a game.
Right. It is what it is. I don't know. Unless we teach our children to be stronger than they are, we all fucked. I mean, we fucked anyway. Like, Devil, you and me are like halfway through life. We get maybe 30 years if we're lucky. We're not going to be around to see the resolution of this. Which,
good talk. Uplifting. Motivating.
Part of me, well, it's a fact it's a fact. And so what that means is that we need to be imparting these things like they was saying on the next generations, on the generations to come, because they're the ones who are going to have to live with this shit down the road.
Yes.
Not us. We'll be in the ground. I'm gonna be worm food long before my fucking grandkids have to deal, are even around. So yeah, great grandkids, whatever. And it's them that's gonna have to fight this war.
Yeah. It kind of feels like almost like a dystopian movie.
Yeah.
Like one day you're gonna have American citizens that you're gonna have like two friends, and one of them's gonna be like, dude, you want to hear something really cool? Meet me here at like midnight. And they're gonna go into some freaking basement, and there's gonna be a group of young people talking about the old times back when. And did you know that people used to be able to defend themselves and talk about it like it's just such a foreign concept, stuff we take so sacred to ourselves. The right to defend yourself, the right to privacy, the right to anything. And they're going to talk about it like, oh my God, that really existed at some point. And like I said, they're going to have to do it in some basement because they can't talk about it in public. You can't mention this. It's not taught in schools that people used to be able to do these things and used to have the right to speech and stuff. They're going to have to like hide it like it's some sort of secret. And like I said, we just take for granted that, it's in one day, like I said, it's just going to be gone. And then they're not going to even understand it. They're going to have to learn about it. Like, that's crazy.
They wouldn't even learn about it.
Yeah.
They wouldn't want to teach them that, because that would mean that they would question the world that they're living in. Technically. Yeah. Like, tonight we're watching Equilibrium in Dermy's Discord. You've seen that, both of you, right?
No.
Yeah, I've got a copy.
You haven't seen Equilibrium?
No, I've heard people say it's a good movie, but I haven't seen it.
It is what we were talking about. Like, holy shit, you need to join us in Discord.
It's very good.
Yeah. Like I said, I've heard multiple people say it's a really good movie, and I've seen the cover and all that, but I've just never got around to seeing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't get the press that it should have, because it came out like right after the Matrix, and around the same time as the Matrix, and it had that same kind of aesthetic. Absolutely. But it didn't have the publicity for it, which kind of like it's sort of a cult movie now because it's picked up a following since, but it was very underrepresented in advertising at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I will.
Highly, highly, highly recommend. It's at 5:30 your time, I think.
Okay.
6:30 mine. Yeah, I believe that's the time. Yeah. That's when we're watching it. But I mean, if you can't make that, you should at least watch it just in general. It's such a good movie. And it is very much the Matrix influenced. Which I just watched yesterday.
which one actually
The
influenced
only-
the other? But
Well,
yeah,
so I think The Matrix came out first, like maybe by a year or two. possibly.
it came out first, but
I know.
I think the script for Equilibrium was shopped around before the Matrix script was completed.
Yeah. They're very, 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 very similar. And I'm not meaning just like based on the script and the story itself. It's also just the way that it's filmed and shot and the costume design. And they're both really good movies, but watch both.
Yeah. Aaron Laura, essentially the society has decided that all evil stems from emotion, so they just eliminate human emotion. It's very interesting. It's got the guy from Braveheart who played Robert the Bruce in it. It's got Christian Bale is in it. Taye Diggs. Sean Bean's in it.
Doing Sean Bean things. If anybody knows Sean
Doing
Bean,
the
they know
Sean
what I'm
Bean
talking
thing.
about. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. It's real good.
I can name one movie where the Sean Bean, and that was Silent Hill,
Where what?
where the Sean Bean thing did not happen to Sean Bean.
You can name two. National Treasure.
I can name. I forgot he was in that.
He's the bad guy in it. That's why I said you can name two, because I know you've seen that.
You know, he's in a Netflix series called, or he's in a short series called The Frankenstein Chronicles.
Yep. And he's Sean Bean in that
where
too.
the thing happens to him, and then but he comes back though because
I
he
know.
gets sort of like reanimated, but he still gets Sean Bean in it pretty early
Yes.
on. I love Sean Bean.
Me too. He plays his roles well. And they're all different, but they're all well done.
Yeah. Sean Bean's a hell of an actor. He's great.
Yeah.
I would watch pretty much anything with him in it, even if I think the thing sucks. Although
I'm
there's very
starting to
little
get
he's
concerned
in
about
there.
your guys' love for Sean Bean.
Sean
It's
Bean
unhealthy
wants
and a
to
little
do-
sexual.
Not unhealthy for me. Read Andy Pickles' last comment.
Sean Bean once defended a woman in a bar by beating the shit out of a guy. Sean was stabbed and then went back in the bar to keep drinking. Yeah, that sounds like Sean Bean. I mean, you know, he's one of those things like he's got that very Irish name, right? So it's like, is it Sean Bon or Sean Bean or Sean
Right.
Bon? Sean Bean.
Yep. Which is, the English language sucks. There literally is one letter difference between those two words.
Yeah,
And
but
you
those
say them
aren't
so
really
differently.
English words. They're kind of anglicized Gaelic.
Either way,
Gaelic is
You know the
nothing
Eng-
like English.
you know the English language is just as bad.
Yeah,
Wound,
because it's an
wound,
amalgam.
bow, bow, bow.
Dude, so you know the comedian Gallagher, right,
Mhm.
with the Sledge-O-Matic?
Yep.
He does these stand-up bits that are about how fucked up the English language is. It's really fucking funny. They're all over YouTube. I highly recommend checking them out. But like what you're talking about, Gal. Like he's got little charts and shit where he flips one letter over to another letter and all that stuff. And he's like, "We think this would say this, but no, it says this."
Yeah, Gallagher, like I think he was pretty underrated for how funny his stuff was. I remember this one bit where he's all the world's backwards and we're all messed up, and he pulls up a piece of toilet paper and a paper towel and he goes, "This one's for your hands, this one's for your ass." Like, you know, like,
Yeah, he's a very funny man. Very funny. Speaking of the world being backwards and seriously fucked up, you guys know who Catherine Marr is?
No.
He is
Negatives.
the new CEO of NPR,
Oh,
who has recently fired an employee, a reporter, who came out on social media and said that there's a clear and present bias at NPR.
yeah.
Oh.
I saw the interview.
Retaliatory
Yeah,
hiring practice. Seems about right.
yeah. It's a little more dystopian than that. And the fact of the matter is that NPR is publicly funded, which means that they steal money from us and they call it taxes, and then they go and they fund this propaganda machine.
Yep.
Yeah. So she did a TED Talk recently where she talks about truth getting in the way of getting shit done.
Oh, jeez.
So we're going to listen to that.
Yay.
But the hard things, the places where
Yay.
we are prone to
skipping.
disagreement, say politics and religion.
God damn it. Is it how bad is it?
Yeah.
Is it real bad?
Pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad.
It says we're still at
Let's try a
6
little better
seconds.
again. Okay, so I'm gonna stop sharing that there. Part of this is, well, dude, Devil, you know how fucking much of a pain in the ass Twitter can be
Yeah.
when you're sharing and stuff. I just got this whole. All right,
If you put it in the private chat, I guess we could pull it up.
let me know.
Yeah, that was going to be my suggestion. If this doesn't work, you have to hit the play button.
All right, we'll try this one more time, and then that will be my next recourse.
Okay.
I know that. I'm trying to find my cursor. I've got two things up here.
Well, as it turns out, not only does Wikipedia's model work there, it actually works really well. Because in our normal lives, these
It's really
contentious
bad.
conversations tend to erupt.
It's really bad.
Yeah.
I mean, like we
Right.
can hear it.
Well,
It's just the video is not at all.
having seizures.
Yeah.
All right.
Can
Well,
hear it
one
clearly.
second. I will copy link to private chat to do. I'm glad the audio is coming in through okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You want to try, Gal, or me?
I don't have a hand right now. I mean, I
Pull
kind
it out of your cat's butt. Damn it. I got it.
He's
Okay.
perfectly content. I don't want to wake him up.
I am tempted very sorely to say something off color here.
Is Lou in the chat? I haven't seen her for a while. You're probably good.
Yeah. Okay.
Is it going good for this?
Agreement, say politics and religion. Well, as it turns out, not only does Wikipedia's model work there, it actually works really well. Because in our normal lives, these contentious conversations tend to erupt over disagreement about what the truth actually is. But the people who write these articles, they're not focused on the truth. They're focused on something else, which is the best of what we can know right now. And after 7 years of working with these brilliant folks, I've come to believe that they are onto something, that perhaps for our most tricky disagreements,
Here it comes.
seeking to convince others of the truth might not be the right place to start.
Where
And
the
our reverence for the truth might be a distraction that's getting in the way of finding common ground and getting things done.
what?
God.
That is not to
Oh.
say that the truth doesn't.
No, everything
Yeah,
you
she's
say
only
at
halfway
this
through
moment
this.
is fucking disregard. Are you kidding me?
Like literally, so the best way to get consistency is
Is to
to
lie to
lie to people, to
Yeah.
manipulate people, and that's a good
Mhm.
thing.
This is
Fuck
why women
her.
shouldn't be in any kind of power. Are you fucking kidding me with this shit? Manipulate your way through life because you have a fucking vagina. That's what I just heard. Jesus
I mean,
Christ. What
Yeah,
kind
that
of
sounds
sense-
about right.
That's what this is. That's what this fucking is.
Yeah. This
On the fucking daily, this is what
that is crazy. The thing is, they don't see what they're saying as radical. They see what they're saying as completely legitimate and fair and should be considered. Anyone with half a brain who can think critically, like I said, sees this as demonstrable, like disgusting, depraved. Like you're literally seeing there saying the best way to freaking get people to do what we want is by lie to them and manipulate them. And, just don't tell them that we're going to lie and manipulate them. Like the Wikipedia thing, bringing that up. Wikipedia is not a source for getting any sort of true knowledge about stuff. They guise themselves in the name of like encyclopedia, where you would go to actually find out, oh, that's what that is. Yeah. It's for years, it's been so moderated to where you can't trust a single thing on Wikipedia, and you shouldn't. And she sees that as, oh, that's a good thing. That's what we should start doing for everything. That's disgusting.
Manipulate it so everybody's on the same page. That's not how the real world works. That's not how truth works. It shouldn't be how journalism works. Jesus Christ. And I'm not saying that men don't do the same shit. Fucking God. It's such a stereotype. Like, what did she just say? It's a classic fucking woman thing to do. Facts don't care about your feelings. Like, sure, it's a funny little thing, right? But that literal.
So you take what you just said, that it's a classic woman thing to do. Now apply that to all publicly funded media.
Yes.
Because that's what she's trying to do here.
Well, it's the different mentalities of women and men, I think. Women, since they're the caregivers, since they're the protectors of, their children, stuff like that, if you see not letting your kid go out and play as you're protecting them and stuff. With guys, it's more like you need to build up your immunity, right? We're like, let the kid stick a fork in the socket. They'll learn. After they stop shaking and, they'll learn, don't stick that shit in the socket. The mom rather put one of those little baby covers over the socket, preemptively protect the child. And I think that's kind of the whole mentality of this. She sees it as, we're doing this really bad, but it's for such a good reason. So I get what Gal's saying, that sometimes you just want to go, oh, that's such a woman thought. Oh my God.
And it really, like,
yeah. Well, and he says here, it's not. And he says it's not the truth. She's talking about her truth. Actually, in the rest of this video, she does go into how subjective truth is, which it isn't, by the way. Something is either true or it's not.
Yeah, exactly. There's not that much gray in there, lady. It's black or white. There's truth and there's non-truth. Everything in between is just bullshit. All right.
And these are obvious generalizations of the genders, but it should be said. Like, I'm not a fucking woman like this. I hate manipulating shit. Like, I think mostly like a dude. And there are men who think mostly like women that are manipulative little assholes. Generally, they're gay.
Dermy.
Say what you want about that. Yeah.
I just did.
No, Dermy's not that bad.
He's pretty gay.
Yeah. Like I said, obviously not all women, but yeah, I get what you're saying too, Gal.
Well, the fact is, we shouldn't have to say that either. That shouldn't be something. We shouldn't have to qualify every fucking thing that comes out of our mouths with, oh well, it's not across the board, and this is, this is a generalization. So of course, it's a fucking generalization.
Right? Yeah, that's true.
Anybody with any experience in the English language would know that. Yeah. And I'm not chastising you or Devil for any of that stuff. I'm sick of the fucking culture that we live in. It forces us to say shit like that so that we don't have them breathing down our neck because we said something they didn't like and they took it as a zero-sum fucking statement, which it isn't, which almost nothing in the English language is, by the way, except for this. It's either true or it's not true. You dumb fucking bitch.
Yeah. I think we mostly say that because I don't want, like, I shouldn't be sitting here going, Gal, answer for your 6. You
Right.
know?
Well, and with me, I say it so fucking frequently. Like I'm
blame
talking
you.
shit about my own gender
Yeah.
every fucking Saturday.
Explain yourself, womb haver. You know.
Yeah.
Nor is it to say that the truth isn't important. Clearly, the search for the truth has led us to do great things, to learn great things. But
There's no.
I think
but,
if I were to really ask you to think about this, one of the things
I just want to see like Gal just run out from the side and put a boot along her head. It's like
Just
smack
get one
her.
of those
You're
like
invalidating
long shepherd's crooks
everything.
and yank her off the
Oh,
stage.
Somebody get
that
this
we could
bitch
all
off my stage.
knowledge
Even if
is
she,
that
even if
part
she
of the
has a
reason we
point,
have such glorious.
even
If
if she
it-
had a point to make here, she completely fucking invalidates everything she said in the
Yes.
first half with the second half.
Yes. Well, and just this. What's funny is she's basically saying the same thing twice in a different order. Oh yeah, I definitely have that. Of course I do. I'm a
Well,
pick
that's
me
what
too.
TED Talks are. TED Talks have become this thing where
Mhm.
people just go and blab out the most stupidest shit, and people just sop it up as it's some sort of intelligent conversation or discussion or whatever. Sometimes it's just people being retarded as shit, and you wish the audience would just stand up and say, "You're dumb. What the fuck is wrong with you?" But probably a lot of these people agree with exactly what she's saying. They're all on board for it.
This chronicles to the human experience in all forms of culture is because we acknowledge there are many different truths.
Nope.
And
Can
so,
we
in the
please-
spirit of that,
Actually, to Andy's point, sort of like I was going to bring up the way that she is talking. It is a manipulative tone and her mannerisms. It's all strategic to manipulate. She's got this tone that is calm and soothing and slow, so you can understand and feel comfortable and know that what she's saying is the truth and it should be taken seriously and wholeheartedly because it means a lot and it is the truth and you should know this. Like the way she's fucking doing it is so fake and irritating.
And it's so manipulative too, because like when you see a 400-pound blue-haired, hairy armpitted chick telling you something, guys tend to be like, yeah, sure, whatever, okay. But when you have an attractive chick like this freaking sitting there, you're gonna have stupid people who aren't able to think for themselves. A lot of dudes, the bell curve and all, the stupid dudes, sitting there going,
Hanging on every word. Yeah.
Yep. It's pretty
Look,
packages saying
I'll
bad
admit
news.
it. Yeah. I'll admit
You
it.
broke up.
You fuzzed
first
out there.
crazy chick that I think. Yeah.
Yeah. There seems to be two. Either where there's the guys who've been manipulated by a pretty girl, or they're the guys who are like, I can bang the crazy out of her.
Or just bang her and ignore the crazy for a while.
I could fix her.
I mean, look, she can't get the crazy out with a dick in her mouth, right?
No, valid.
There sounds.
Just saying.
Wrong. You might sound like that for a little while, Devil. It's a good imitation.
You straight. Sam runs in there and be like, I'll save you all from her stupidness. Pop. Just
keep talking, bitch.
What the hell was that? I don't. Every time you guys say the internet was wrong, sometimes I'm all like, yeah, because we're on it.
It was a mistake.
Yeah.
I'm certain that the truth exists
We
for
were a
you
mistake.
and
Yeah.
probably for the person sitting next to you. But this may not be the same truth. This is because the truth of the matter is very often, for many people,
Just
what
listen to
happens
that.
when we merge facts about the world
What?
Oh, just listening to her tone, it's like dripping with this honey that is just full of venom.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't stand it. Sorry.
With our beliefs about the world. So we all have different truths. They're based on things like where we come from, how we were raised, and how other people perceive us.
Shut up about we all have these different truths because we were raised different ways and blah, blah, blah. No, those are just facts of life. They're not, oh, this is my truth versus your truth. There is one truth and there are facts surrounding it.
Yeah.
Just my truth, your truth. Fucking God damn it.
Yeah. I'm definitely going to have to go strain her out with angry sex.
Definitely. Gal's Day if I put my mind to it.
What did you just say?
Just said put my mind to it. I didn't hear anything else. Hey, Release McCracken, what's up?
Apparently my audio is like not great, so yeah.
Well, you know, I think that StreamYard does that like a localized recording, so like you can, if your internet's fucking up, you can pull a copy of it that has clear thing to it or something. They keep showing the stupid advertisement for it. Come back and watch the video of this. Maybe you can hear more of what Sam says.
That's true. That's true. We had a problem a couple weeks ago on Abyssal Musings where neither Larry nor I could understand a word each other was saying for like the first 20 minutes of the show. But went back and re-listened to it, and you can hear us trying to talk over each other very clearly. Like, it's still a mess, but it's audible. So yeah, it's I don't know, but yeah, this is where we are now, though. You know, people trying to tell us that the truth is not in fact truth. I hate to give any credence to the prophecies of the Christians because some of them are really out there. But this whole living in a time when up will become down and black will become white and good will become evil, like we're seeing it, dude. It's happening right now. Thing is I'm not convinced that I think that it was probably always a little bit like this. It's just in our faces right now.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just very slow moving.
Yeah. And, you know, it's like this woman is in charge of the largest government funded propaganda network on the continent. Right. This lady here who just told you that truth isn't important. To your faces. She told you truth isn't important.
Yeah.
Which, number one, tells me NPR can't be trusted. I mean, anybody with ears should know that ever since Paul Harvey died, right? There hasn't been a single person on NPR that was
Paul
worth
Harvey.
listening to. But yeah, but I just dated myself a little too there, didn't I?
Well, you apparently dated me along with it.
Yeah.
I miss Paul Harvey.
Me too.
God, he was so pure.
I don't even know who the fuck he is.
What?
Liar.
It's Paul Harvey.
And now you know the rest of the story.
Never listened to NPR.
Dude, Paul Harvey was a staple of like something like 670 news stations or radio stations across the country for something like 70 years.
Yeah. Hey, I'm not that old. Thank you very much. Suka.
Pretty close.
You shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
both older
you're
than
not
I
that
am.
far behind us.
Yeah, but
Marginally.
we're dudes, so we have like a longer shelf life. You got like 4 more years, and then you're just over that hill.
Oh, running up that hill.
Empty egg carton.
Oh, I guess I'm gonna punch you in the dick too. All right, got a list.
I mean,
Next meetup.
that way nobody's genitals will work.
Yeah, she's just gonna go to the next meetup and just start slugging people in the dicks.
Yep. Like that fucking video of the guy that's just slapping everybody. That like walks up to him.
He's just gonna go up to people and then like hit him in the balls and be just like, make
Yep.
fun of my my dwindling egg supply, huh? Well, good luck with your sperm
My
count.
height
Wham!
or lack thereof. Mhm. Mhm. Yep. Then they'll think twice. They would wish that I was back to the first Vegas meetup where I was being nice to everybody, but no, we had to come back from it and make fun of Gal. Mm-hmm.
Once again, I'm going to reiterate that I do not do meetups.
We'll all be trapped in the cage that surrounds the pool at the place. She's seen there trying to get in like a little rabid dog, Chihuahua.
Yeah.
Just gonna.
Getting hit in a risky game. I've been hit in the dick a lot. It's kind of amazing that I'm not sterile at this point. I've been punched, I've been kicked, I've been probably exposed to various kinds of radiation over the years. Like it's it's amazing that I had children in the first place and that they're okay. Didn't come out with like extra arms or anything. But I've done had my kids. It's all right. I'm good to stop producing at this point. So
Well,
in
aren't
honor
you
of what
special?
now? Hey, I got on it. That's all I'm saying.
Clearly.
And by on it, I mean in her. I'm gonna move on now. Andy Pickle.
In it.
In honor of National Trans Day, you get a sex change. You get a sex change. We should get Arsenio Hall to put on a wig and a dress so he can be tranny Oprah.
That'd be amazing. Oh, jeez.
That's that image is gonna keep me up. Anyhow, I like Arsenio Hall. Always have. I think the man's funny as
Yeah.
hell.
Original Coming to America was amazing with him and Eddie Murphy.
When he's in the club in that big old wig and stuff,
Mhm.
hitting on himself.
Yes.
Yeah, he already looks a little like Oprah.
Good.
Yeah, Zillage, it's not like I was standing there with my knees apart saying, hit me in the Jimmy with no cup on. Like I protected myself as much as I could.
Yeah, he had a cup on.
Yeah. Kick me in the Jimmy. Anyway, I don't know if anybody else remembers where that's from. I can't remember where it's from. I just remember the line. Might be
It
King of
sounds
the Hill.
familiar, but I can't remember where I heard it either.
I don't recognize it.
I did get drop kicked in the nuts one time, and the guy said Wolfman's got nards immediately after that.
Oh yeah, I know where it comes from. Wolfmen don't got nards. Wolfmen got nards.
But you're tall, dude. Yeah, so were a lot of the other guys in the cage. It's they didn't fight a lot of short guys. It's not a good idea because they get inside your fucking reach and then it's over. Most of them are faster than me too. I'd use that reach advantage while I could. So yeah, I prefer fighting taller guys.
Mm-hmm.
I had one sparring partner who was actually a very short dude and very quick and much more technically proficient at fighting than I am. What I had to my advantage was a significant reach advantage and an ungodly tolerance for pain. Like I could take a ton of punishment, and I still only managed to beat the guy 4 times. And once 2 of them were sucker punches. Knocked the wind out of him right out of the gate. My favorite though, I did manage to get him in kind of a lock. I sort of had him in a half Nelson with my arms holding up his upper torso, and then I got my legs locked around one, not both, one of his legs. I think it was the left one. And again, I reiterate, I'm much taller than this man. And then I just kind of stretched. he complained later that he felt like he was walking in circles for a week.
All we
Rude.
heard was, then I stretched. And then
Yeah,
it just
that-
went
then
dead.
That I was pausing for effect.
Yeah, that was
Okay,
yeah.
okay. I was all, did we miss something in that pause that I'm like, okay.
No, not at all, not at all. But essentially, I had temporarily lengthened one of his legs, but not the other.
Oh.
He was not very happy about that. But I want to fight. Yeah.
Which
that's
is
why I don't
technically
fight.
all that matters.
Yeah, because otherwise you don't fight short dude. You don't fight guys who aren't on your level if you can help. But if you have to, then you find any advantage you can. Like this dude was little, but he was strong. He picked me up off the ground once. Like I'm very tall, but I don't actually weigh as much as I probably should at my height. He picked me up off the ground, slammed me into the ceiling, and then into the ground. I lost that fight because I couldn't breathe. You
Yeah.
know? There was no air left in my body. Guy put me through a wall once, you know.
Jesus.
Ah, God, to be 20 again.
20 what
That
again?
was a lot of fun. 20 and dumb.
Oh, okay. Because we heard 20
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, that would be good though. I enjoyed the hell out of it. Best shape of my life, probably the most damaged I've ever been at the same time.
Well, that
Sometimes those
works.
go hand in hand.
Yeah,
Mhm.
when you're 20 being damaged, it's like, oh, no problem. Now you're 40 and you sleep the wrong way. You're like, oh, I can't move. I'm dying. What the hell?
Dude, I know. The shit I thought I bounced back from in my 20s, yeah, it turns out not so much. All of those injuries are still.
Bye, Sam. It was good chatting with you. Are you back now? Sam. Hello.
Did he get fully cut off?
I think so.
Watch
Well-
his avatar. His avatar is going to drop here in a second. See, this is
Yeah.
exactly what I'm talking about. Why he needs to give one of us admin, because now we're just stuck here until he gets
We're
his
stuck in the void, screaming. Sam.
I don't even know what the next topic was going to be.
I don't either. Did he put anything in the chat?
He went over. Yep, there you go. Damn it.
He dropped.
Yes, the elder being has left. I guess it's up to me and you to run
Better
this thing.
swim with those tentacles pretty
Perfect.
fast, Sam.
What else has happened? He was going through all the stuff. We went over the dude who burned himself. We went over her and her awful talk. Oh, the squirt gun. The squirt gun. I guess high school recently had a senior skip
Senior
day.
skip day,
And
yeah.
yeah, and they were playing with squirt guns. Everyone was having fun. And somebody decided to bring a real gun, I guess. And a bunch of kids got, I don't know if they were killed or just shot.
The last I heard, I mean, it was just that one thing was they were injured. But I haven't heard an update since.
Yeah, God, that's the thing. I don't know how to keep it going after that. I just know the original incident. This has become too common. Not the shooting. The idea that people are just dicks and they want to ruin everything good. Here's
Right.
these kids having their freaking fun time, and I don't know if it was some kid who had a beef against another one, or if it was like those kids who shot up the celebration after the Super Bowl, I believe
Super
it
Bowl.
was.
Yeah, the parade.
If it's like that, if it's just some assholes, oh yeah, Sam's putting
In the
fucking-
chat, Can't even pull it up, Sam.
But
Where was that at again? Like Baltimore or some shit?
here he
Oh,
goes.
he's
He
back.
knows. He knows. Where was the school where they did the shooting, Sam?
Oh,
He's not back.
I gotta bring
Oh.
that shit up. I'm right here. Yes, I'm right here. Which school are we talking about? Are we
The-
talking about Columbine
The
or are we
squirt
talking
gun
about?
shootout.
Oh yeah.
The squirt gun senior skip day shit.
It was the only other
Yeah,
thing I can
You were
remember. wanted to
vamping
talk
while
about.
you were
Yeah.
floating in the void
I
trying to swim back to us.
saved that somewhere. Yeah, I do have that saved. I just got to figure out where I saved it at. Do.
But you don't recall like where it was at.
Off the top of my head, no. Like it was a busy news day yesterday.
Oh, I know. I swear you put it in.
I might have put it in the SITV chat instead of where I usually put stuff.
Am I the
Okay.
only one that calls it Sippy?
Yes. Yes, you are.
Oh, you know what? It was really far up there because dumbass kid likes
Oh.
to text and drive.
Yeah. By the way, quick service announcement, everybody. Don't text and drive like a dumbass. Just
Yeah.
don't do it. It's fucking retarded. I've known a lot of people who died that way.
Yeah.
You know, and some people who think that, oh, I'm being safe. Nebo School District in Utah.
There
It was
we
in
go.
Utah?
Yep.
Jeez.
You Mormons.
No,
and your
I'm sorry.
freaking
That's
violence.
the furries thing. Shit.
Yeah, I thought I had just gotten to it. And then
Like I said,
trusted your word.
busy fucking day yesterday.
Greenbelt, Maryland. I just
There you
found
go.
it.
There we go.
Probably still was the Mormons.
I am gonna throw things at you. 5 teens have been shot with critically injured individuals taken to hospitals.
Yeah. Unfortunately. And this happens, of course, the day before today is the 25th anniversary of the Columbine shooting, in which a number of people were killed. I don't remember exactly how many, because honestly, I've tried to distance myself from that whole thing because I was one of the guys who kind of got accused of being involved in it at the time.
Oh, fun.
You
Like,
know?
were you living out here?
Well, no. I weirdly enough, I actually was in Littleton about a week before that happened, but I was just passing through. I only stayed for a night. No, it was one of those things that went around. You know, the whole I guess counterculture, underground stuff, like, you know, the goth movements and all that stuff. All of us got fucking accosted nationwide over this stuff. You know, it's like, oh my God, you know, like they shut down certain concerts because of it. I mean, you know, because like, oh my God, it might do a thing. There's a acapella group called the Trenchcoats that goes around from school to school singing like uplifting shit or whatever. They changed their name to the Coats after that, so as to distance themselves from Klebold and Harris as far as possible, because they didn't have anything to do with them in the fucking first place. But God forbid you use the name. So yeah, it was one of those things. I was one of the kids who got pulled into the fucking vice principal's office to talk to the cops about, like, are you involved in anything like this? I was like, no, dude, I don't even know this guy. That's like not even in the same state. You know?
Ridiculous.
So yeah. But yeah, today is that. And so yesterday there was another shooting at a senior skip day. It was supposed to be a water gun fight, something like 500-600 participants.
Yeah.
You know, which is a whole senior class. Some asshole decided to bring real guns. Yeah. They did blame Marilyn Manson, and he canceled I think touring for like 2 years after that, 2 or 3 years.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, it was because they were coming at him like real hard, and he was just like, look, I don't think I had anything to do with this, but out of respect for those guys, we're gonna. First thing they did was cancel their tour date in Denver, which was coming up.
Well,
and then they canceled the rest of that tour, and then they didn't do another one for a long while after that. I see.
That's always been a thing where they'll accuse whatever the pop culture thing of the time is. Ozzy had it too. People said that Suicide Solution was somehow convincing kids to kill themselves. No, it was actually a comment on, if you're going to fucking kill yourself with liquor, why not just do it quicker, you dumbass? That's essentially what it was. But yeah, it's the same thing.
Mm-hmm. I remember that, Andy, when they changed Jihad, the name of the card game. Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. That was around the same time that they censored the Unholy Strength card in Magic. They took the Burning Pentagram out of the background. Same people were involved in that. Mhm.
Yeah, people always try to find a reason for bad evil or whatever. Sometimes bad shit happens because bad shit happens. It's the same idea of people wanting to take away guns, thinking that somehow that means people aren't going to kill each other. Guess what, assholes? People been killing people since the beginning of time. It was one of the first things we freaking figured out, and we've been really good at it ever since. You know, the first this caveman took a rock and hit this caveman and killed him. Said, "Holy crap, I'm good at that.
I won.
Yeah,
I survived."
Ever since then, we've been doing it. Just because we become more efficient at it doesn't mean that if you take away firearms, all of a sudden people are going to be like, damn, I guess we can't kill each other no more. Minus poison, explosives, anything you can make into a weapon, from a hammer to a knives,
Talk to the
broken
UK.
glass, rocks,
Right.
anything. I have a pencil right next to me. I could kill somebody with this pencil. Does taking away my gun, does that mean I can't hold the pencil no more? No, you're idiots.
Well, now I just want to watch John Wick.
Yeah, but I mean, like even when they take away people's shoelaces because they could use them to harm themselves or others, it was like I could still beat somebody to death with the shoe, right?
Right. I still have the shoe.
It's like anything can be a weapon. That doesn't mean that all things are weapons. But yeah, you're right. There's this knee-jerk reaction to remove any possible thing that could possibly cause harm the second that something goes wrong. And the fact is that in this world, things are going to go wrong. People are going to get hurt. Might even be you or me. That doesn't mean that we should shut down the entire fucking planet every time it happens. Maybe take it into figure it out what caused it and take that as a cautionary tale, sure, but don't it's like one guy decided he was going to go and jam a pencil into his nose holes until it reached his brain, right? That doesn't mean we ban all fucking pencils.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like people have the knee-jerk reaction to blame the tool that was used because they don't want to admit that humans are inherently capable of evil.
Yeah.
Because they would have to admit that even within themselves that they would be capable of doing something like that, no matter what the tool was. So they have to knee-jerk reaction blame it because they don't want to look deep down inside themselves and know that they have evil thoughts too. It's just how life works.
Look, we all do. We all do.
Yeah.
Every person on this earth has some dark thing that crosses their mind at some point.
Yep.
The difference between somebody like me and somebody like, Klebold and Harris, Klebold or Harris rather, I went through a lot of the same shit that they did. You know what I didn't do? I didn't shoot at my school.
There's a lot of people that didn't do that. It's actually the majority.
Right. There is a commonality. We all have these occasional fleeting thoughts, and sometimes they're awful thoughts, and sometimes we hate ourselves for having them, but they come unbidden, right? Everybody has dark thoughts. Everybody has unsavory things that happen in their heads. Whether or not you act on those things is the key. That's the difference.
Yeah.
And you should be proud of the fact that you don't.
Yeah.
Admit it within yourself. Understand who you are. And acknowledge the fact that you have not fallen prey to your own inner thoughts.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where we find ourselves. Like I said, up is down, black is white, dogs and cats get along. Expressions of evil are teaching people how to not be dicks. I kind of wish Mr. Chow was here. He does this really great impression of Murderface from Metalocalypse. It's like, that's called being a dick. Anyway, don't know who that is. Go look it up. It's funny. But yeah, we each of us have the capacity in us for great good and great evil.
Mm-hmm.
Right? each and every single one of us. Most of us strive pretty much for great mediocrity. You know, we try to ride a line a little bit and maybe leaning more one direction than the other, but you know, but we all have that capacity. And I think it's key that we understand and accept that is a part of who and what we are, but we do not have to allow it to rule us.
Exactly.
You know, so yeah. Also, don't oh dude, Suka. So Devil, last night you asked the question about like what like kind of irrational fears we have.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that this is irrational, but the only one that I can go for myself is like if I'm sitting in the passenger side of a car, I have a hell of a time being a passenger in a car because I keep imagining whoever's behind the fucking wheel deliberately swerving us into something and killing us all.
Oh, it's not an irrational fear if you're in the car with Gal.
No, I mean it's not. I've never been in a car with Gal. I have been in a car with. There are only two people on the planet who don't give me that fear. My own parents give me that fear. You know,
He's making fun of me because not everyone, mostly, like most of our group rode with me at one point or another, and I move around. I have a sports car and I drive it like one. And did we die? Devil.
Well,
Did you die?
no, we made it through it.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't. Just because we made it through it that one time doesn't mean we make it through it every time. Seriously. No, she gets very violent. She's got like a little Napoleon complex behind the wheel.
I am an aggressive driver and I sometimes have Tourette's.
Like I'm talking about like your fucking foot up on the fucking front window, grabbing the oh shit bar, holding on.
My car doesn't have one, so you know he's lying.
I was sitting there like fucking thinking about
scrambling for one.
Making good with my father about it. I was like, oh God.
I should talk to the old man before I die.
Can I come home? Can I come home?
No, man. It's like Suka. No, I would not get into a self-driving Tesla. I trust the machines even less than I trust people. I'm a driver. I'm a good driver. I'm a very good driver. Partially because I learned to drive while I was transporting stuff that I maybe shouldn't have been.
I know
with authorities nearby. So anyway, I got very good at not drawing attention to myself, at using my turn signals, at being a fairly defensive and courteous driver. You know, I'm not aggressive. It's funny that you say you're aggressive. I just had to sit through like an hour and a half fucking mod at work about defensive driving.
Mm-hmm.
like 2 days ago. It's mind-numbingly boring. I'm amazed I passed the quiz at the end because I'm pretty sure I micro-slept through about half of it. But probably the bit on fatigue. Anyway. But I don't know that I would get in the car with you, Gal, having that been described, because I have a hard time with good drivers who are not aggressive and thinking that they're going to kill me too.
You'd be fine in my car, Sam.
I have to be behind the wheel or I'm not okay. You know?
I'm just saying that you'd be fine in my car.
Yeah.
Like you'd survive it.
Yeah.
And also, if you were getting in my car, it would be country roads. You'd be fine. I'm aggressive in the city because you have to be.
Yeah, I get that.
I swear that tree came out of nowhere.
Right?
No, that would be the little Pidgey no longer. What's his new name now? Our little bird boy.
My Shadow. Yeah,
Birdie.
The white. Pidgey the white.
Yeah, I don't care. It's Shadow. Shadoo. Yeah, he's gonna end up wrapped around a fucking telephone pole. He keeps up the way he is.
Yeah. Little punk.
You know, but my ex-wife has always been like, why don't you let me drive ever? And I was like, well, perhaps you
You're a
should not have
woman.
allowed your mother to show me all those pictures of you as a teenager and all of those totaled fucking vehicles.
See, that's only happened to me once.
You know? It's like, if you total more than one car in your life, you're probably a liability, and I'd rather not have you behind the wheel.
It's a good plan.
Yeah.
Or-
I've never totaled a car in an accident. I did have one totaled because of hail.
I
But it wasn't.
hydroplaned. Yeah.
No, I mean like it was sitting in a driveway and hail totaled it.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Gotcha.
Yeah. No, we have like manly hail up here.
Well, yeah.
So,
I understand
but,
now.
Yeah. We have roving insurance adjusters and claimsmen who come
Mhm.
through town every year like it's the fucking carnival chasing the hailstorms. You know?
Oh, that's ridiculous. It is Wyoming, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I did get pulled over once though for driving recklessly on hail.
Mm.
It was on I-25 just south of I want to say Douglas, and there's this bit where the road kind of dips a little bit and it's sort of fun to drive down. And I had this Saturn SE2, which is like a little sports coupe, right, with a lot of pickup. And I'm just having a blast, and I hit that that hill, and next thing you know, you're doing like 92. And then I find I'm being pulled over, and as it turns out, it wasn't just going 92 that was the problem. It was the fact that I was doing it on a road that was covered in hailstones the size of ball bearings.
Oh, yeah, that's probably not good, Sam.
It was fun though.
Then you can't freaking complain about my aggressive
can.
driving.
I
No.
can, and here's why.
'Cause I was
Because
driving.
you're behind the wheel, and I'm not. That's why I was in control.
Let go, Sam. Just let go.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. Like ever. So, but yeah, this has been a pretty good show aside from the internet crap. And I wish I could get through one goddamn show without that happening.
It wouldn't be you, though.
It used to be. It used to be me. The internet used to work.
Wouldn't be the new you. Is that
I
better?
don't like the new me. New me sucks.
I don't know. It's pretty entertaining for us in the chat.
I'm sure. I'm glad you guys are entertained.
Mainly because when you come back, it's always when you're cussing out the internet or StreamYards or whatever.
Don't know how that happened. I think it does sense when I'm swearing because
Mhm.
I'm
Well, this seems
only
like it's
swearing because I think you can't hear me.
Yep. Oh, you think you're going to get away with it? Okay.
Well, as it turns out, Zillich, nothing did in fact go wrong. I got pulled over. It was all safe and all that stuff. And the cop even shook my hand after he issued me a ticket, which they don't do, by the way, because they don't know if you're going to pull a gun or a knife on them. So yeah, it went very well. Wasn't even that expensive of a ticket. So it was just some reckless endangerment. It's fine. I don't do that often. This was like a long time ago. I don't do that shit anymore. But it
Yeah,
was fun.
reckless endangerment of all the antelope. I guess there's some humans around.
Well, south of Douglas, I-25 is actually kind of busy in the middle of the day.
Hmm.
It's not like the heart of Denver busy, but it's interstate busy. Believe it or not, there is a lot of traffic that goes through Wyoming. Most of it doesn't stop here.
Well, I know. I've been that vehicle many a time.
So, I wouldn't have done that. Like that would have been totally counterproductive to. I was driving a bright orange sports car, man. Like he had my description. It would have been really stupid of me. He was a nice guy. So, kidding, YouTube. That was a joke. Would never harm an officer.
Yeah, because telling YouTube that it's a joke really helps.
That's not going to help you.
Hey, so far, I haven't been booted off at this point, but we are past the 2 hours, so I don't know if they're.
What was the
fucking
one
finished
video
it.
where you put that in the title and they still took it down? Was it the Jew thing?
Yeah, which is okay. It was called relax, people. They're just jokes.
Yeah, that
Didn't work out very well.
they didn't relax.
What's funny about that, all of the jokes that are in that were clipped from a specific live stream, which is still up and available here on YouTube. But the video that I
Mhm.
made out of it, the short video that I made out of it, it was like yoinked, and then I got slapped with a warning for hate speech.
Retarded.
Which is still on my channel, by the way. When Legion and I got suspended for a week earlier in the year, that was for medical misinformation,
Mhm.
which, by the way, wasn't misinforming anybody, but whatever. So that strike, we got a strike from that. That strike has since expired. I no longer have a strike on the channel. I still have the warning from fucking December from that. So,
Again, retarded.
Relax, people are just jokes thing. And the reason is because they want me to sit through an online struggle session to learn my lesson before they remove it.
Oh, go
And I'm not
fuck
fucking doing
yourself. Nope, I wouldn't
Mm.
either. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nope, that ain't it.
I've still got the video on, hell, I've got it on my phone. I've got it on my hard drive. It's on Rumble. Fuck them.
Yep. I'd rather have my whole channel shut down than fucking bend to that shit.
Mhm.
Yep. It was the bot that flagged me. I'm pretty sure it was somebody who didn't like what was said. I don't know if it was a
Mhm.
bot. There's some very specific things that were said to Adam from Dermy involving Jews and ovens, and it was funny.
You
but
know,
it
the
was-
normal for Dermy and Adam. So
Does anybody look at like Adam and Dermy and think like Kyle and Cartman?
I
A
can see
little
it.
bit. Yeah,
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind
Well,
of
get
makes
on
a
that.
little stand, I think, and like I don't know, Cloud could be Kenny.
Yeah.
He never.
Oh shit.
Oh, you will have to have a Dermy. Oh, Adam's mom's bitchy. They've had bitches.
Better not do that where she can hear him. Adam fucking lives with his mom. Yeah. Yep. That is correct. We're coming up on the end. You can tell by the fact that I'm just making fun of my Jewish friend here. He's not even here to defend himself.
Well, because he's doing drive-in.
Yeah. I'd have Adam on more. We had him on well, you guys were doing the Ball Busters thing in Vegas.
Mhm.
Adam didn't want to call in, and then I guess they decided they weren't going to do that anyway.
Yeah.
And so he was like, he didn't have anything going on, and I was like, fuck man, you're usually up and online at this time slot. You just want to come over on my show? Then I've been giving Dermy shit about stealing his Jew ever since.
Nice.
I'm just saying
Well-
it's a good thing that Adam has a great sense of humor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and we have Tiny But Fierce on
Mhm.
next Friday. So if you do steal Adam, he has a replacement Jew. He was threatening him
We
with
gotta have-
it last night.
Yeah, we gotta have Tiny back on here. She was great.
Yeah, Tiny's awesome.
So for those of you who missed it, episode 90 of Screaming to the Void is on Rumble and Twitter only. It's not on YouTube. It was never on YouTube. It's probably not going to be on YouTube. I have toyed with the idea of uploading it to YouTube to see what happens, but I don't know. I might do that as a, later on, because we ended up talking about Jews and Christ is King and all that stuff, and none of it was particularly offensive in any way. But you know how shit is now on YouTube. You say the wrong thing, boom, you're gone. So rather, we decided to be safe rather than sorry. And I think there were a couple of things that were said that probably they would take issue with, but overall, I don't think it was a particularly offensive episode. But it's over there if you want to watch it. I think it's a good one, personally. And we had Shock and Tiny and Prof Savage Dad on. It was good. Enjoyed the hell out of having all of them on. I'd love to have them back. So yeah. I was asleep. Storm woke me up, and Sam was on. I mean, that's kind of how I roll. Yeah. Like the thunder.
Oh God, I was literally just about to say like that. All right.
Mhm. Yeah.
I you took the words
Get
right
fuck
out
off
of my
my
mouth.
Bravely. Yeah. Get off my brainwave. It's mine.
It's mine. You're the one that stole it.
I'm gonna.
If you guys can't share the brainwave, then I'll take it away.
And
It
you
says,
gotta
"Can
head
you
out.
put me up for the night?" Yeah. We need to probably, close it down.
I gotta make
'Cause-
some food.
yeah, and you got another thing coming up here shortly and all that stuff. So let's let people know where they can find us. Start with Gal and go counterclockwise, because I love counterclockwise. There's something about
You
it.
would.
I don't know. I think it would freak me out in Australia a little bit, but
Well,
here
yeah.
I like counterclockwise.
You just have to be different, is why you would love clockwise of Down Under. Green haired anti-liberal, YouTube, Rumble, Twitter, and Instagram. That's where you can find me. Tomorrow I will be on Horny Elf's channel for Phasmophobia at 10 p.m. Mountain Time. And then on Thursday, I'm most likely this coming Thursday, gonna start doing my stream again for Cooking the Books. Book
Good deal.
TBD.
She says book TBD. What she means by that is Frankenstein by Mary Shelley.
It's not even on the list.
It's the only thing on the list.
And by I mean it's on the big list, just not the 3 that I'm going to put on the poll.
Fine. Devil, what you got coming up? Before I get mean.
What do I got coming up? I don't know what I got coming up. I guess maybe I'll go over and watch the movie with you guys. I don't know. And then later tonight I'll probably stop in at least for a little bit on Skinemax with Adam, and then tomorrow night I got the game stream too. And then all my normal places. Wednesday, Wrong Think. Friday night, the pub, and we will have Get Ranked on Sunday this next week.
Awesome. And this is going to be the wrestling one, correct?
Yep. Legends of Wrestling. We're doing baby faces first. The Golden Era. Hulk Hogan, Macho Man Randy Savage, Ultimate Warrior time. And
Fair enough. All right. The links to their channels are in the description below, both on YouTube and on Rumble, as well as a number of other panelists who, have the link. Just saying. For my part, I am Samuel the Infamous. This is my channel, so you know where to find me. Same deal. Monday night, probably Adam's show, the Renaissance Nerds channel for Mellow Mondays, assuming that we have one this week. Tuesday Night Mayhem on Dermy Wormy's channel, and then we're back to Abyssal Musings on this channel Friday nights. Then we jump over to the Devil's channel about an hour and a half after that for Beelzebub. And then back here for Screaming into the Void. You can also find me moderating and doing some producerial work for the Exiled Lioness on Exiled Lioness 2, and occasionally being on the panel, although I do a lot less of that these days, just because it's a very contentious panel. and all that. But otherwise, thank you all for being here, hanging out, watching, and we will catch you all next time. Remember, YouTube, it could always be worse. It could be raining for covers. Night, everybody.
Bye.